Guns up, Poke fans. It's time for PokeCast. Broadcasting live at Mr. Bill's Seafood Express, located at 500 East McNeese Street in Lake Charles. Now, here's your host, Jim Gazzolo.
We're back at Mr. Bill's across campus from McNeese State and on 92.9 The Lake FM. Will Wade's there. Wait a minute. What is this?
I'm eating. I got shrimp, boiled shrimp.
But when did this become like a drive-through restaurant for you? Would you call ahead?
Some of us have been working all day.
You don't call ahead and suddenly the
most of us aren't in the media where we work for like 2 hours a day. Some of us got real work.
Well, that's probably true.
Did you even work 2 hours today?
I just watched baseball for 4 hours.
Did we win?
Yes.
All right, well, good.
You know, if you looked online, I already have it up online.
I don't look online.
Well, there you go. That's probably a good thing for you.
Yeah.
Although, kind of getting into that, you're trending all over line.
Am I?
How do you do that?
I don't know.
You don't say a word. Some job opens up some other part of the country, and you're number 2 trending. Last night, you were trending behind, I forget who you were trending behind, but somebody famous.
Okay.
So that's pretty impressive.
Sure.
Which leads us to our first internet question.
Okay.
Everybody wants to know.
Who's the question from?
It came on the website The Ranch. Asked me to ask you.
The red site what?
The website The Ranch asked me to ask you.
The Ranch. Our collective?
I asked you yesterday and you yelled at me about. About coming back next year.
I've already answered the question 100 times.
How many more times do you want me to tell you?
Yes.
But they don't believe me. They want to hear from you.
I just said yes. I'll be back.
So we can be done with that conversation.
Yeah. I thought I ended that like a month ago. Then I thought I ended it again 3 weeks ago. Then I thought I ended it again 2 weeks ago.
We live in a world where
here's the problem.
People are concerned
here's the
about
problem.
you. They think you're a good coach. I don't know why.
Twitter's not the real world.
No, it's not. But some people believe it is.
Twitter's not the real world.
One of your biggest fans
By the way,
in
I
town.
heard that. Some people think you're a good media member. I don't. I heard that. You tried to slick that. You tried to slick that in there. I heard that. I heard that. Some people think I'm a good coach. I don't know why. Well, some people think you write good stories. I don't know why. I've yet to figure that out.
But this is the problem we have in our relationship here. I say it, not one reaction.
No, I caught it. You
did. But the rest of the people here didn't even react.
See, you
say it and everybody laughs.
You didn't think I was paying attention. You thought I was looking at my shrimp or eating. I was. I can multitask.
How do you get it to where you're sitting somewhere else and they deliver your food here? You weren't even here yet.
I was sitting with my guy Dean, and I don't know.
It's going to be a long hour.
What are we going to talk about today?
I've got a lot of stuff.
Am I here the full hour, or do we have somebody else?
I think you're the full hour.
Oh, goodness.
We can talk about whatever you want to talk. We'll get off.
Let's talk about this. Let's start about this.
You ask me questions.
We are under 2 weeks away from the Gatsby. How excited are you? How excited are you? I mean, this is an exciting time. We're under 2 weeks.
You're going to be a disappointing guy. I'm just telling you.
You're not coming?
I got things.
No, you don't. April 13th, you do not. Listen. I have told recruits that we cannot have visits on that Saturday night. If I could tell recruits we can't have visits on that Saturday night, your ass can certainly show up.
Thanks for that. Here's the thing, though. You're going to walk in there. Some guy's going to give another, $100,000 now, $200,000 just to have dinner with you. I don't get any part of that dinner. Schwerer's going to find his way into that dinner somehow.
If you'd sit at the right place, maybe we'd invite you to the dinner.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You guys get enough free dinners. Matt feeds you every time in the media room. You get free food all the time.
Oh, that food's long gone before I'm ready to eat it. Long gone. You get the hot dogs at the end.
Nah, one time the hot dogs were tremendous.
They were good. They're good.
Did you get a ballpark Frank today at the baseball game?
I did not. I brought my lunch.
Peanut butter and jelly?
Yes, it was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And Fritos. So, yes, it was. Why does that? Okay.
Sounds exciting.
So, can we start talking about some stuff?
Well, what do you want to talk about? You got any notes, or are we just going to wing this?
I got a whole page of notes. I've got internet questions from people.
You know who I had dinner with last night?
How would I know that?
Much more enjoyable than what I'm going to do tonight with you. But I had dinner last night with Shahade Wells. It was good. Signed with an agent. He's off and running. We're ready to roll.
Where's he looking to go?
I mean, whoever will pay him the most money.
Well, I'm saying, but
he's going to go
type of league do you think he'll go?
He's going to go to Portsmouth. He got invited to Portsmouth, which is a huge deal. Which is in Virginia in 2 weeks. I'm going to go out there with Coach Hamilton, and we'll go up there and spend time with him. But he's invited there, which is where all the best seniors in the country go and play against each other, and then they play in front of all the NBA executives and overseas folks and
scouts
and stuff, and then then from there, hopefully he'll be invited to the G League Combine and work his way up through there, and have a chance to really make some money.
So and Bonnet put out today a story. I know you don't read stuff.
I didn't read it,
but he put out a story.
I love Bonnet. I like Bonnet's stories a lot better than yours, but. That's just for the record.
Well, sure you do. But anyway, as I was going to give him a compliment, he talked about all the kids from McNeese that are going to be there. How many kids are you going to add this year that are playing pro ball? How many do you think will? Do you think Cullum has a chance?
Yeah, Cullum will. I met with Cullum this morning.
And Felder's
got some options.
Does he have a chance to come back?
Yes.
Okay. 50-50. 40, 30, 60, where are you at?
I don't like to put percentages on things.
Okay, so he does have an option, though, of possibly coming back.
Oh, he's going to come back if he has the option.
But that's what I'm saying is, though.
We got to see how the option is.
Well, you seem to be well in hand with the NCAA. They seem to like you a lot. So
they love
they're
it
just
when
going to go right along with you.
Yeah, they love it.
Whatever you do, they'll just go along with you.
Just say, hey,
they won't
whatever.
send you out to Salt Lake and play Gonzaga or anything, will they?
That's right.
Oh, they won't do that to you. Which now comes up with the NCAA. I want to ask you about the NCAA. The tournament itself, not your experience, but first of all, the tournament expansion, all this other stuff that's been talked about. What do you think this tournament has done for expansion? Because I don't think there's going to be a lot of expansion if there is any.
I mean, look, I think they're going to expand it some.
Okay.
I think they'll expand it another 4 to 8 teams, get to 72, 76 teams. Have some play-in, just have a first.
Have more play-ins.
Have a first round and have play-ins, and I think that they may have 3 different play-in rounds.
And divide those sites up.
Yeah, they'll send one to Dayton's and maybe one out west and one in the east. I don't know. There are people smarter than me; they'll figure that out. But I think there's certainly probably going to expand it some. Look, the Big 2 conferences wanted expanded, and that's just the way it works these days.
Well, they wanted to expand it, but they wanted their guys to be expanded.
Correct.
And now we got talk that Clemson and Florida State are going in the Big 10, and possibly as early as 20 and 25. So, yeah. All these conferences have changed. Look at you. You're going to have more conference. How many conference teams would you like to have? How many conference games would you want to play?
I don't think we're going to have much choice. We got a call next Wednesday. I think they're going to tell us we're playing 20 and don't worry about it. I think we'll probably play 20 conference games next year from what I've heard from reading the tea leaves. So we'll play everybody twice with adding Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, but they're not the only one coming in.
I think probably for right now.
Okay.
I think it's getting too late to add anybody else. And
for next year?
I don't think everybody else has their hierarchy in place.
Well, good way to put it.
To add, so.
And with football, it'd be hard to change football for 1 year.
It's hard to change football schedule. And Rio Grande Valley, you don't have to change any football because they don't have football till next year, I believe. Right?
Yeah.
And so I think that we're looking at look, I'll know more next Wednesday when we have this conference call, but from what I assume, we're looking at a 20-game conference schedule. So we play 10 home, 10 road, and go find us 11 non-conference games. But look, we'll play whoever they tell us to play whenever they tell us to play them. So
that gets into your scheduling here, which is on my little list.
We can't. We'll play it as we're told. So
essentially, you have 10 games to schedule.
11.
Well, 10 because you got Lafayette.
Yeah.
So you have 10 games.
It's going to be remember I told you this. What?
Just wait.
What do you want to talk? What do you want to say?
I don't know. You said, remember I told you this, and I was waiting to hear this.
Remember I told you this. That Lafayette game may have a little bit added oomph to it this year.
Could it have 2 additives? Or just 1 additive?
Just 1.
Okay, I just hear things.
Just 1. So
that would be...
You don't hear very well.
No, I didn't say I did. Sometimes I go with my tea leaves and they're not right. But I hear people are in the porthole and all this. That's all.
I don't know anything about any of that.
I know you don't. Nor should you. That's just for me to decide. I just read the internet. That's where I get into trouble.
What's on the internet about all that?
Just about where people might and might not go.
They have a little extra oomph.
I hear you. You said that last word, and then right at the last week, you kind of dialed it down.
What do you mean?
You kind of dialed it all down last year when we were getting ready for this big extravaganza, and you dialed it down in the last week. I said, well, we shook hands, we accepted it, and the next thing I know, you're almost brawling on the floor.
Yeah.
Good thing you dialed it down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
See what happens. What else you want to talk about?
Final Four. You're not going?
No.
Why don't you go to the Final Four?
Because I don't like seeing all those people. Everybody there's just fake. They tell you what a great year you had and all that, and they're trying to steal your players. I'd rather just say, hey, I'm trying to steal your players. Let's talk. I mean, I'm not about all the go around everybody's back, and that's not my deal. I'd rather say, hey, I like your point guard. Is he going to the portal? Oh, he's not? We'll try to put him in. I mean, I'd rather say something like that than hey, coach, great year, and I know you've been talking to,
four of your guys or something.
Four of my guys. I'm not about that.
So you're not going to schmooze with your boss?
No, that's not really my. Heath loves that now.
I know. Oh yeah.
That's his scene.
Yeah.
He already flew out. He left today, I believe.
Really?
He's probably on a flight right now. Maybe can he listen in the air? No.
I don't know.
Is that possible, Marcus?
Yeah, it's streamed.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I don't think he's listening though.
I got you.
But yeah, I think that's his.
Tell everybody how you screwed up our whole day yesterday by not. We filmed Poke Nation. Is that what it's called? Jim forgot to tell everybody we had a change in time, so Heath and I are there really early. Jim doesn't have Marcus there because Jim doesn't explain everything, and threw off for a whole day. I had to rearrange 2 meetings because of his lack of communication.
It's so enjoyable to have you back. It just really is. It wasn't a lack of communication. There was a misunderstanding.
I think Marcus would say it was a lack of communication.
Marcus would be right. And it was,
You're the communicator.
I took it.
I know.
I fessed up to it. I admitted to it.
Heath and I changed our meeting venue.
I think the words were, you guys, we could just do it now and then come back. I don't think it was like a big deal, but if it was, we would have arranged it.
I had other places to be that day. I had other stuff to do.
What?
I was in Lafayette that afternoon. I was moving around. I had to go some places.
Why?
Things to do.
Okay, getting back to the NCAA tournament. The Final Four. Surprised by anybody besides North Carolina State? And what does it say that basically it's big power schools? Last year it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, look, all that stuff goes in cycles. Everybody tries to make, make statements on things off of 1 year. I mean, it's all cyclical. And a lot of it's how the bracket sets up.
Yeah.
You look at a team like Alabama, who we're all familiar with because they're from down this way. This is probably, he's been there 4 years, 5 years, 4 years now, 4 or 5 years now. This is probably the third best team he's had.
Yeah, he had the number one team last year.
He's had 2 teams that are way more talented, way better than this team that couldn't make it.
Yeah.
And sometimes the bracket, you just got to keep giving yourself cracks at it. Keep giving yourself cracks at it. You keep getting top 3, top 4 seeds. I think they were a 1 seed, one seed twice, or 1 seed once, and 2 or 3 seed and a 4 seed. I mean, you keep giving yourself cracks, and eventually, at some point, the bracket will open up with you, or open up for you.
Yeah.
The thing I will say is very rare because of the tournament and how wild it is. I mean, look, the 2 best teams all year are there.
Yeah.
And for all intents and purposes, the 2 best teams are going to meet in the championship game.
Probably.
I mean, it would take massive upsets for UConn to lose. It'd take a massive upset for Purdue to lose.
Yeah.
And you could argue Houston maybe was the 3rd best team, but without their injury, they may have been there. But for the injury, they may be there. But I think that I think it's good that the 2 best teams are gonna be there. And I don't see anybody beating UConn, but no. I think the two best groups are there. And I know you'll be rooting for the old Big Ten. Boiler up.
I have my Big Ten shirt on right here.
Yeah, there you go. You got your Purdue shirt on right there.
Go. Yes, I'll be rooting for
Purdue
the Big Ten.
And Saints and whatever else.
Not a Saint, no. But I'm just curious as to the centers. We don't often see big centers dominating when they get here. Now all of a sudden they are.
Gonzaga's big center was pretty good.
He was pretty good. And he fell to a bigger center, that's all.
Yeah, but I mean Edey and Klingon from UConn are just phenomenal rim protectors. I mean, Edey playing against Tennessee for all but 33 seconds was incredible the other night. I mean that's really difficult to do. So I thought he was really good, and should be a good championship game.
And the interesting thing about both this and the women's is the best players have stepped up.
No doubt.
Which isn't always the case, and it's nice to see that instead of seeing the problems that they've had in the past. When we come back with Will Wade, we're going to talk about McNeese's experience in the tournament, its future, and what he wants to accomplish in the offseason after this on the PokeCast.
Mr. Bill's Seafood Express, located at 500 East McNeese Street in Lake Charles, is locally owned and operated. Don't forget to check out Mr. Bill's Seafood Express daily lunch specials Monday through Friday. Mr. Bill's Seafood Express also has live music every Thursday and Saturday night. Chad Poussaint and Jason Guillory, the owners of Mr. Bill's Seafood Express, proudly support the McNeese Cowboys. Mr. Bill's Seafood Express, 500 East McNeese Street in Lake Charles, says, "Go Pokes!"
The McNeese PokeCast is also brought to you by Keelan Construction. Keelan Construction is South Louisiana's leading vertical and horizontal general contractor. Keelan courageously pursues complex challenges to advance further the life and culture of our staff and the communities we serve. And also brought to you by Southwest Beverage. Rooted in the community of Southwest Louisiana since 1954, Southwest Beverage has been a family-owned and operated business for 3 generations. Bud Light and Southwest Beverage has been a loyal supporters of McNeese State University for over 30 years by providing athletic scholarships as well as scholarships for students. We pride ourselves on being the premier beverage supplier in Southwest Louisiana and will continue to be here for many years to come. Thank you for your support of our brands and McNeese Athletics, and as always, go Pokes. We're back at Mr. Bill's with Will Wade on 92.9 The Lake. Going to talk McNeese basketball. Going to talk NCAA tournament. Apparently, we're going to talk about my April 13th date or whatever is going on. I don't know. I'd have to set up another haircut. That just doesn't seem like me. Okay, so let's get into what was the experience like for you taking McNeese State for the first time in 22 years of the NCAA tournament, Salt Lake City. Obviously not the outcome you wanted, but what was the experience like? You said it was going to be one of the biggest things in your life.
It was awesome.
Did it fill out?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, it was...
Was it fun to see Matthew Travis in the audience? What? I'm just curious.
Goodness.
He asked you 100 questions.
He did. He kind of took over the press conference there, didn't he?
Yeah, a little bit. It's all right.
Couldn't even get a question in.
Well, I wanted to ask you about your,
Yeah.
I always ask about the dates in your history.
He kind of took, we couldn't take Rick Serro out there with us, so he kind of took Rick Serro's spot in the press conference.
Always making friends, aren't you? Always making friends.
I'm just pointing out facts.
No, but it was...
I mean, look, it was a great experience. Salt Lake, tremendous host city.
Yeah.
I thought where our hotel was, you could walk to the arena. I mean, as clean a city as clean a major city as you'll ever. I mean, you could eat off the sidewalks. It was so clean, and just a great place. The hospitality was great. I mean, look, people don't realize the actual school's host. So, like, University of Utah was the host, and the amount of time and effort it takes to do that is phenomenal, and they did a great job. The Delta Center's a really good site, and so. It was a good trip, except for about 40 minutes of it. But it was a fun trip, and I thought it's a credit, man. We're a small school in Southwest Louisiana, and we had our whole section full. I mean, we had as many people there as Nevada and Dayton and some of those guys who go to the tournament all the time, and so that was really cool and really fun, and just to watch our guys walk out there for the practice, see how excited they were to be out there, and it was a fun experience and something that our guys will always remember. And look, we looked like a team that hadn't been in 22 years. They look like a team that's been every year for 25 straight years. I mean, look, there's just a difference in experience, and so to prelude into some other stuff. We're going to have a bunch of guys back that have some experience now, which is good. And when we look to add some guys in the portal, we're trying to add a majority of guys that have experience. We had a bunch of guys this year who hadn't won a whole lot, when we brought them in and we won some. But when you get to that stage, you got to have guys that have experience and have have been there before. And so that's really important that when we get in this portal, we find guys that have experience in that tournament.
So how many scholarships are you anticipating having open? And
it's a loaded question.
Oh, I mean, how many do you have right now?
I think I'm still having conversations with different guys. I mean, I think for sure we've got 4 or 5. We could have up to 6. I'm approaching it right now like we're going to need to sign 4 guys.
4 guys?
Yeah. We should have some good news here soon.
So that's pretty good. That means that
on one.
In the year of, you want to say it?
I can't.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about yet.
I know. I'm just saying. We should have one here soon.
You tease
maybe tomorrow.
You tease all these people.
Maybe tomorrow.
And the next thing you know is they want to know. You can't just tease people. You have to deliver it sometimes. No. You can't just say we're going to win 23 plus 1. You actually have to do it.
Well, we did it.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm telling you. We're.
Do we have a prediction for next year? 32 plus 1?
No. I got to see how the roster comes together first.
See who you're playing too.
Yeah, we got to see all that.
Okay, the kid. You have lost a couple of kids in the portal. Everybody does. But the rest of the conference has had kind of a mass exodus.
Who'd we lose in the portal? Jones, but he's not. Jones, Fields,
yeah,
DT,
yeah,
and who else?
That's it. I said a couple.
Yeah,
it's not bad. I said the rest of the conference has had a mass exodus.
Yeah.
Does that surprise you that so many are open?
I saw the Smith kid from Nichols went in today.
Yeah.
He'd be first round draft pick if he just showed our 2 tapes.
Yes. He would. Yeah, he probably would be, actually. If he shows those tapes, he's going to get some looks.
He'd be first-round draft pick. He'd pop in and just say, watch me play McNeese. We'll put him on the big stage.
But is that a good thing for the league to have that much turnover?
It's just the nature of what we're dealing with. I said you got to keep 3 or 4 of your main guys, which we've been able to do. And, part of that's just – look, we won, so people like to win, and so people enjoy being around winning, and we were able to do that, and so the guys, a lot of the guys want to stay, but we also had a tight knit group. They enjoy each other, and there's a couple kids I thought were going to leave that, I get in the meetings and they're like, yeah, I want to come back, coach. I was kind of, oh, okay, one of them I was like, dang, I'd already kind of accounted for your scholarship, buddy. I'd already accounted for that scholarship. But, we're never going to kick anybody out, so come on back. But, look, I mean, you've got to have some continuity with what you're doing, and we got a little bit of continuity. Now we got to add to it with some other guys.
Well, everybody wants to know, Shoemate's coming back, correct? Because that's the big question, is Will Wade coming back? Is Shoemate coming back?
Yes, I mean, I feel comfortable that they're coming. Okay. I mean, look, I don't want to let the guys want to come probably now. I know. I mean, I would say yes.
Well, I've asked a couple of them, so.
Well, what'd they tell you?
A couple of them said yes, but I hadn't asked him yet.
Gotcha.
That's all. As you go into it,
I was with him today for a while.
Okay. I'm not looking for details here.
I gotcha.
Want to know what we're expecting.
You usually are looking for details. That's the problem.
We'll get details when we get them. But as you look at the future makeup, one of the things you guys were very close-knit. You said the other day that you want input from the kids that are staying and have them meet the guys that you're bringing in because you want to make sure it's kind of a continuity thing. How important is that to kind of keep what you've already built? Because a lot of times when you bring in a lot of kids, the culture changes and everything. You changed the culture last year.
Yeah, we don't like the word culture. But
I know you don't.
I mean, look, we got to get the right personalities. You got to fit the right guys around. But at the end of the day, too, I mean, we need talent. Talent's the price of admission. Then you can figure out the rest of the stuff that goes with it. But you need talent. So we got to find talented guys that want to be here and are excited. I tell our guys all the time, winning attracts bad stuff too. And so you've got to make sure that you get guys that want to be here for the right reasons. They don't want to be here because everybody likes to ride in the parade, but not everybody likes to build the floats. So you got to find people. You got to find people that want to get in here and work and do what's required to win. All everybody sees is you riding down the street in the nice float. They don't see everything that went into it.
Yeah.
And so you got to make sure you got guys that are here for the right reasons, that are about the right things. And so that's what you do when you bring them on a visit. You question them, and And, you're on the phone. My next-door neighbor's here. He sees me out there walking. He sees me out there walking at night up and down our street, talking to people on the sidewalk. Probably he's thinking I'm either recruiting or selling drugs. So I'm recruiting. So I mean, you when you're talking to folks, you're trying to make sure that you're I'm asking questions and prodding. Like I had a great conversation with a kid today who's a transfer he averaged double digits in a high major league. I mean, he's a real player, and he had every right answer. He had the best answers I've ever heard to the stuff I was looking for, and why he wanted to be here, and why the level didn't matter, and why he wanted the right fit. Like I could have. I mean, I was ready to just. And he was like, "Hey, coach, I got 2 other kids that I can get to come with me, and I can do this, and I can do that, and I want to be a leader, and I want to do this." And I'm sitting here going, "This guy like fell out of heaven." I'm like, "What in the world?" And so, I think that part of it's all important to make sure you're finding the right folks.
We got a
He's
question.
Been waiting patiently.
I did not see him there.
A couple things, kind of off of that. That'll be second. But number one, I don't know if you saw the press conference for the Western Kentucky head coach. Kind of referenced you without saying your name a little bit.
No, what'd he say? I didn't know that.
Well, I'm not going to sit up here and say I'm going to promise 30 and 3 season, That's what he said. I was like, well, that's kind of taken off of what you said last year about 23 plus 1. But obviously
you gotta have some guts, man.
Absolutely, man.
Don't take over. You gotta have some guts.
Absolutely.
No guts, no glory.
So obviously the team we had this year, the 23 plus 1 ended up being 30 and 4. First round of the NCAA tournament. What kind of player is it going to take to get to the second round or beyond?
Yeah, I mean, look, you've got to walk a thin line. We've got to have, we got to have talent. But I mean, I'm not John Wooden, but anybody could look out there on the court and say we probably need a little bit more height. We just got to get bigger and sturdier, and it's not just at center. We got to get some bigger guards. We got to get, it looked like a high major team versus a mid-major team. And, we've got to get sturdier. We've got to get bigger. We've got to get a little bit more skilled in a couple positions. And it's not just at center. But, I've had a bunch of people say, man, coach, y'all just missed a lot of layups. Well, yeah, we missed a lot of layups, but their length and us worried about them coming, that all had to do with it. We're rushing layups. Instead of stuff we can dunk in Southland Conference play, I'm trying to lay it in down there in front of you, and we can't make the layup. So it's like we've got to add positional size, and that's at a couple different spots. And Hade was a phenomenal player for us, is a phenomenal player for us. But being a 6-foot guard works against a lot of people. In that game, it didn't work. And so we're looking for positional size at the guard, at the wing. And we need some bigs. I mean, we've got. I mean, Shoemate's tremendous. We may add a big tomorrow, and then we got to go get some bigger guys. From there. So, that's kind of the focus. I feel good about. I mean, Shoemate's obviously a great player. Garcia, DJ are really good players. We got Cooper and Saunders back, and they're solid. But, I was honest with some of these guys in the meetings. We got to upgrade. It's on you to meet the upgrade that we bring in. But we got to upgrade with some size and some things positionally. And so that's what we're going to try to do.
One of the things I don't think people talk enough about is getting size like that in practice so that you see that practice and you have to shoot over that practice all year long. It's not just in those games.
Yeah, I say this all the time. I don't know if you've heard me say this, but depth is overrated for games, but underrated for practice.
Yeah.
So you need quality depth, guys to go against each other, guys that can compete against each other. That's very, very important.
Yeah, that's one of the things that, by the way, you keep throwing these carrots out to these people. Well, maybe tomorrow, maybe. That's rude to them. These poor people want to hear you.
I can't say anything.
I know that.
The NCAA rules.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this. I'm known for my
I've heard that you do not step over the line ever. I've heard that.
I'm internationally known for my rule following.
It seems like, though, if you break that rule, in 2 years, the NCAA is just going to let it go anyway. Aren't they? So you're more of a trendsetter. How's that? You're more of a trendsetter. Okay, we talk about the bigs, and you mentioned you wanted bigger guards and that and some other things. But a lot of people talked about, and I don't know his name, didn't you have a guy on the practiced with you? Can he play next year? Because people ask me about him.
What about him?
Well, first of all, what's his name? Can you say his name?
No, I'm not going to tell you his name.
Okay. I won't say it then either. But
he's a transfer.
But he's on is he on your roster currently?
I don't know. Is he on the website? No, I don't think so.
He's not on the website.
The transfer we had. Yeah. He's not on the website, is he? No. We'll discuss that when we can discuss that.
Okay, he's been seen in practice.
Huh?
The kid's been seen in practice.
Yeah,
Everybody talks about it.
I'm not quite ready to go forward on that. He's got some qualifications that he needs to complete here by the end of the semester to make sure he's going to be a part of the team next year.
Okay.
So I don't want to. He was brought here under strict adherence to what I want done. And if strict adherence is not followed, then he can follow his ass on out of here. So I would not want to embarrass him and put out there that he's here, and then if he doesn't make, that's why. I'm not being coy or anything like that, but he's got some standards that he needs to meet if he wants to be around here.
Okay. Well, that's just one of the internet questions I get from you. People want to know from you. Like, again, they seem to think you're an interesting person, so we move on. When we get back on we got a question. No, go ahead, Chad.
Hey. 10 years, $10 million a year, plus all the NIL you want. I got the $1 billion ticket right there. Just went to the store. Don't make no plans for 10 years.
I like it.
So we can commit on 10 years here?
Oh, yeah, there we go. Chad wins the Powerball. We're all in.
Yeah. We'll be back with Will Wade on the PokeCast after this. The McNeese PokeCast is also brought to you by Southwest Louisiana Credit Union. Southwest Louisiana Credit Union now offers an account just for McNeese students. It's the blue and gold checking account. All it takes is $5 to get you in. You get a free debit card, online and mobile banking, and access to a smart ATMs. There's no service charge. You can even get free financial counseling. That's why Southwest Louisiana Credit Union is now the official credit union for McNeese students and McNeese athletics. Find out more at swlacu.com. To open a blue and gold checking account, go by Southwest Louisiana Credit Union at 4056 Ryan Street, about a block away from campus. Membership is required. As the oldest athletic booster organization at McNeese, the McNeese Cowboy Club is proud to continue providing support to all McNeese athletes for 49 years. We meet every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. in the Cowboy Club room located over the south end zone with talks from coaches and other leaders in McNeese athletics. Come join us and discover what being a McNeese athletic booster is all about. And go Pokes. We're back at Mr. Bill's 92.9 FM The Lake, and Will Wade on one of our final. We're running out of these.
I know you're disappointed.
I'm a little heartbroken.
You look it.
I am. These are totally enjoyable for me. Okay, a player.
You should try to have more fun with it.
I try. I try, Coach. I try. Player that.
So we're going to talk about scheduling.
We are.
Okay.
It's on my list, but I wanted to ask you this.
I was going to announce something good for scheduling. Is that a tease?
Yeah, but I know you can announce this one. So I know you can
Have
announce
you written
this
about
one.
it yet?
No.
No.
You haven't officially made it official yet.
Oh, okay.
You kind of hinted at it yesterday and said it's going to happen. Is it official? We'll go to that right now.
Yeah, it's official.
Okay, so next year, because of scheduling, you're going to actually schedule up. You want to improve your scheduling, right?
That's what we would hope to do, yeah.
And that's going to lead you to where?
So we're going to play in an MTE in the Virgin Islands, which will be good. Can't take a bus trip there. I'm sorry, Alan. No bus trip to the. We can take a plane trip. But we're going to play Kansas State's in it, North Texas in it. It's a big-time event. It's the Paradise Jam at the Virgin Islands. It's over Thanksgiving week. So it'll be it's almost impossible for a school like us to get invited, but we were able to wiggle our way in there. But it'll be us, North Texas, Kansas State, Vanderbilt, Illinois State, Liberty. I can't even think of who all.
So there are some mid-majors there that would be good matchups for you.
Yeah.
It's not just big schools.
But we're in it, so that's good.
So that's big. Now that you'll play 3 games there, or
3 games on a neutral court.
3 games, 3 days.
Yep.
Where's the court?
At the University of the Virgin Islands.
So those are TV games.
Yeah. CBS Sports.
CBS Sports.
Yeah.
Look at you making mints.
You gonna be able to go on that one?
Who?
You.
It's football season, man.
Okay.
Not if you're. What if you're going for a national championship in football?
That's the end of November. We'd be finishing the regular season by that point, I think.
Wait, I gotta follow them, though.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't know. Are you gonna pay the way?
No.
You know who isn't gonna pay the way? We've discussed that. I had to get a sponsor just to go on the other trip.
I know.
So
I did all I could to help you with that.
That was fine.
Fair.
Look.
Fair. Did I help you or not?
Yes, but I appreciate. Here's the thing I'm going to tell you.
Gives me all this junk. I help.
Here's the appreciation. Okay, I'm going to give you credit. I had a good time because I had a friend from Chicago there. I had a couple of friends from California there. It was I had a nice time.
Tell them the story.
What story?
Tell them the story.
What story?
How many times you'd been there? Travis was trying to.
Come on,
Jimmy.
I'm not gonna do that.
Come on, Jim.
I'm not going to do that either. I had been in the Delta Center before. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get into that one. But it is funny. It is kind of funny.
It's hilarious. Is our guy Chaston listening tonight? Where's he at?
He said he's coming by afterwards. So
where is he? Is he listening?
I don't know, but I'll tell you something. That's a guy you got to watch on the Twitter because he's in Panic City if you're mentioned somewhere else. He'll hit me up like 4 times in 10 minutes.
I don't follow him.
Those aren't the ones that he puts in the
group text?
The group text. Those are the ones that are just to me going, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? Is he going here?
Where is he?
He works.
Huh?
He works. He's one of those rare media people, apparently, that actually has a job, I guess, as you would say.
Yeah,
how's that?
Valid point.
Okay, scheduling.
Because I know I'm with one who doesn't.
There you go. So now you're down to 6 games, basically, scheduling, it looks like. With these 3, how many of them do you want to be in?
You got 8 now. You get 31 games.
Yeah. You got 20 conference.
Yeah.
These 3 can be 8
UL.
and UL, so you're down to 7. How many of them do you want at home?
I got another game, too.
You're announcing it?
No, we can't quite announce that yet. It's a neutral court game against an SEC team.
Really? Ooh. Is it?
Nope. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Oh. Where's would the neutral court be driving distance for fans?
Yes. Yeah. It's driving distance.
Okay.
I mean, it's not right around the corner. But it's driving distance.
People are asking that. I want to know exactly where.
Probably 5.5 or so. But it's a really good game for us. So then we would, that puts us at
6 games
to
left.
get. So I would like to have the other 6 at home if we could, but you just never know how that's going to go.
Now I know you're having trouble getting scheduled.
You think?
Yeah, a little bit. I say a good trip to Chicago would be good. Play a UIC on a Thursday, a DePaul on a Saturday. I can make that trip. I can make that trip work in my budget.
Gotcha.
Can you do that for me?
Duly noted. Sorry, that's not part of
Giordano's pizza.
It's not part of my scheduling.
Look,
formula.
you'd love Portillo's hot dogs.
I know, I do.
You'd love that, so that would be.
I've already told you I like Portillo's.
So that'd be perfect for you.
I know.
I could take you to the original Portillo's in Villa Park. How's that?
There we go.
There you go. That's exciting. Okay, the trouble. It's just a little shack. But the trouble with getting it is you've become too good to schedule for some teams. But are you getting anybody interested because you are actually drawing at home?
No.
You get a sellout?
No.
It's like other mid-majors aren't saying it'd be a good place to play.
No. They go, that'd be miserable. We're going to have to go in there and play in a sold-out arena against a good team? That doesn't sound very enticing to many people.
No, but so what are you looking at? What do you want?
We're just going to have to wait because we're going to have to wait people out to see who we can get. We're not going to have the schedule finished till September. We're just going to have to wait.
There you go. See?
We're going to be in a waiting game at this point.
Always a problem with you. Can't just send it. Okay, I wanted to ask you this. We talked about the exits from the conference, but there was a fairly big-name player coming into the conference from Ball State.
I haven't followed it this close. I haven't followed it.
Are you seeing?
I follow
kids,
McNeese State. I don't worry about what everybody else.
I know,
doing.
but
if we
you want the conference to be successful.
But if we maximize what we're doing, we'll be just fine.
Oh, I know you're not worried about them, but do you like to see the conference at least get better?
Yeah, we need to win games.
So you can win games.
Yeah,
you can win those games and then get bumps in year.
Absolutely.
So it does benefit you if the conference gets better.
Correct.
Is there more interest in the conference because you guys are less?
I don't know. I worry about us. I don't worry about what other people.
We got an hour here, Coach.
I know, but I worry about us. I'm
you're supposed to be the guy of the knowledge.
You
of the
asked
best.
me a question and I answer honestly. What do you always say? Oh yeah,
Chaston wants to tell you that he is listening and you shouldn't be outing him.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear you're listening, buddy.
Okay. Another question that was asked on the internet: the status of your assistants. A lot of assistants move around.
Yeah.
Are your assistants committed to coming back? Or
They're all here. Gang's all here.
So you feel pretty good about everything being stable going in?
Yeah, for whatever reason they won't stick around. They don't. I guess they're not tired of me yet.
I don't understand that at all. That's one thing I can't understand.
And that's not very nice.
No, it isn't. You're right.
Not very nice. But
So
yeah,
when-
the assistants are. I mean, look, you never know. I mean, they're out at the Final Four now. They all go out there. They love that. Chambers loves the Final Four. Chambers was made for the Final Four.
Well, he's probably trying out there to get you some games.
Very sociable, all that. Oh yeah, he'll try to get games, but I don't think he's gonna have much luck there.
That's a good time to try, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good time. That's where everybody is. You got everybody in one place, so you've got a chance.
Do you watch any of the women's games?
I watched the Iowa.
Well, everybody in the country did.
Yeah, I watched
LSU
that.
game.
Yeah, it was a good game.
12.3 million watched. Could you ever imagine that?
Crazy.
Now, you weren't around for Bird Magic, but it seemed like that had a Bird Magic flavor.
Gotcha.
Because that was kind of like the whole, this is never going to be seen again, this type of thing. I'm not really sure I'd go with good versus evil like they did, like some people did, but it did sell.
That's you media folk.
It did sell. Yes, but it did sell. It did sell. Are you happy that women are doing well in that, or does it not matter to you, or does it not? Because
it's good.
It's
good
it's
for
outdone
basketball.
men's game right now.
It's good. It's good for basketball. They're good players. It's fun to watch. So it's been fun to follow.
Okay.
From afar. I mean, I don't watch it, all that closely, but I watched the other night.
Yeah, well, that was an interesting game. Okay, so now as we go into your team, we've talked about it, but you wanted size. You wanted big game hunting, you told me. That's what you said. 2 of everything and big game hunting. You say you might have an announcement soon. Are you close on others? Do you feel comfortable with where
we're
you're
in
at?
a dead period. After today starts a dead period, so we can't do any visits or anything until after the 11th. So things will slow down for the next week to 10 days. And then
when can you actually start signing guys?
Not till April
17th?
17th, something like that. 19th, 17th, something like that.
So when these guys commit now, it's just a verbal commitment.
Correct.
Okay. So do you feel good? Do you feel good about what you've done so far?
Oh, we're fishing in the right ponds. We just got to reel them in.
Now, when you say fishing in the right ponds,
yeah,
you wanted to go up and get some people from FBS. What would be Power 5 in that if you could? Your hope was to get experience first and foremost and size, correct?
Yeah.
And
we're gonna get it.
Okay. You said that last year, and you did. Are there going to be a guy? How does it analytically fit into? How do you do that? I guess that's the question everybody wants to know is how do you do your analyticals to say Wells is going to be this, he could be player of the year, and then he ends up player of the year? What weird analytics are you doing that nobody else is doing?
Well, the one thing we do that's different is, why would I give this away, by the way?
Just what you're doing. I don't need to know details.
Proprietary information that you're asking me to give away.
I don't think the rest of the Southland Conference is sitting there listening to this and wondering what you're doing.
So, look, it's all a math equation.
Okay.
You got to get efficiency points. It's really not that difficult. Where we're different is most people use a generic formula. We have a formula that fits our style of play and what we do, and it's specific to what we do. So we can fit them in to exactly what we do, and most people are just fitting them into a generic formula. And the stuff is weighted on the things that I value the most and that we do the most. And so then I can basically spit out exactly what we're going to get that's closest to what we're going to get. Where other people are just using a generic formula.
How close were you on Wells and others?
I was pretty close.
I don't know.
But now the numbers are different. I'm not trying, I was just trying to get all Southland players last year.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to get players, I know the numbers we got to reach to, I'm trying to build a team that would be favored in the first round of the NCAA tournament and have upside if we got the right matchup to make the Sweet 16. That's the goal. And so the numbers are, well, that sounds great. The numbers and the math on that are vastly different than what we did this past year. And so, everything's just different. And so you've got to really squeeze the margins. And see, what you're really looking for is, we'll take Hade, for example. What you're really looking for is market inadequacies that you can take advantage of. So Hade, most people saw a 6.5 point a game scorer at TCU.
Yeah.
All right, so that drove down the schools and the folks that wanted him. What people didn't see was 19.5 points a game at Texas Arlington, what he did in junior college. So what I was banking on is we can get Hade against a group of teams that see him as a 6.5 point game scorer. We can put some confidence in him. We can put the ball in his hands, and we're going to get him to revert back to what he was 2 years ago. So that's what you're really looking for, is you're looking for guys that are maybe undervalued right now, especially when you're trying to get in the margins where we're trying to get with the NCAA tournament. So you're looking for guys that maybe had a 20-game stretch where they played great 2 years ago, or one season where they played really well 2 years ago, and they've kind of dipped off for whatever reason. You're trying to get them at the dip and bank on the fact that we can coach them to their peak. That's what you're trying to manipulate.
Well, it did work. But where do you get that with a Garcia who's playing junior college basketball?
Well, you take his UMass stuff.
So you go all the way back to UMass.
Yeah.
Say, this is what we're looking at. This is what we think we can project him to be.
Yeah.
How close was he to your projections?
Spot on.
Was he?
Richards outperformed his projections. Hade was right on his projections. The one who underperformed, that was because I didn't play him as much and because of everything, was Felder. He's a really, really good player. But he just didn't play as much, and he got messed up with the sitting out the first games, could never get in rhythm, and his stuff was really, really good.
Well, you would expect him and Saunders would have better years next year because they would be in flow from day one.
Correct. You would hope.
Yeah. When we come back with Will Wade,
coaching doesn't mess them up, we'll be all right.
Well, that's always a question mark.
Yeah.
When we come back with Will Wade, we'll finish up on the PokeCast. The McNeese PokeCast is also brought to you by Twisted Vines. They offer residential and commercial lawn and landscaping maintenance, irrigation and drainage installation and repairs, outdoor landscaping, lighting, holiday and event light installation also with 3D drawings. Contact Ryan Boyd at 337-274-2267 or email info@twistedvineslc.com. Like them on Facebook and follow on Instagram at twistedvineslc. If you mention you heard the Twisted Vines on the PokeCast, you will receive a 10% discount off your purchase. And Pompelli Tire, official tire store of McNeese Athletics. Experts in tires, EV-specific tires as well. We do more than just tires. Mechanical work as well. A full-time mechanic is on site at all times to help in your needs. We're back for the final minutes of Will Wade and PokeCast. At worst, I get a 2-week benefit. At worst. Perhaps I get months free of you. Months.
How many more of these you got?
We got 2 more. We got one on the 17th, and we've got one on the 1st. Let's talk about your tucks.
What do you mean by tucks?
What about your tucks coming up for the Gatsby?
Hadn't got it yet. I'll get one. Don't worry about me.
Why?
I'll be there. I'll be fine. Be ready to go.
You're gonna be the biggest name there, aren't you?
I don't know about that.
Really? I think you will be.
I don't know about that.
What dinner go for with you last year?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I can.
Huh?
I can.
You weren't even there, so
No.
how would you know? This will be the first Gatsby you attended this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet the bank on that. My wife's out of town that weekend. She's in Kansas City.
Perfect. You should be able to come.
All you're going to do is wave to me. You're going to wave to me, and then you go off with all the big wigs, and I'm just going to be sitting in the corner, the kid that can't get a dance.
You are.
And that is pretty much my whole high school career, so I'm good with that. All right. Final things going on, too, as we move into this. We do have one question from the internet that was asked.
We already had. I thought we already had 2 questions from the internet.
We had 3, I said, though. One was, what was your impressions of Southland officials this year? Good, bad, surprised?
Better than I thought.
Really?
Yeah, there's some really good officials in the Southland.
Do you think it was that much better on Monday nights?
Yes.
Okay.
When we played at Northwestern State on Monday night, one of those officials is working in the Final Four this weekend.
Oh, okay. So you say, obviously you've talked about the benefits of playing Mondays, and you'll play any time that can be on TV.
Correct.
So that's
We
the
also
biggest
had 18 Sports Center top 10 plays.
Yeah.
As a league.
Yeah, most of them were yours. There was one not so top 10
Right.
moment
Right.
that might not have made as much headway.
You know, each of those is worth $50,000 to University and Advertising.
Really? Mm-hmm. So basically
So we had 8 of them. That's worth $400,000.
Where'd that number come from?
Market research.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, and you got...
you know, the unique views on our website are up over 1,600%.
No.
Unique views at our website since from Selection Sunday till now.
Okay, that's why I wanted to ask you this one, because I wanted to finish up with this.
I got the data today.
What was it like to have Selection Sunday CBS on campus? To have the whole nation tune into you guys?
It was awesome. It's funny. It shows how little I know. Reed and Heath had been planning the whole thing because I just didn't want to hear, and Matt, and I didn't want to hear anything about it till we won. And when they told me, I was like, are you sure anybody's going to come?
Oh, yeah.
Damn, we walked out and the whole side was full. So I was like, are y'all sure somebody's going to come and people are going to come to this? It'd be pretty embarrassing to have CBS here and nobody shows up. And then, we had everybody out there, which was really cool.
No, in fact, you had the most of anybody that they cut to.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah,
it was
awesome.
You had half the stadium.
When you hadn't been in a while, people get pretty
excited about it. No, but that was an interesting thing because to me, and I thought your guys' reaction, you sold your reaction well. I'm not sure if you were that happy when you saw the draw, but you sold it well.
I was happy then. Then I got the Analytical report that night. I was not as happy. Once I saw my numbers guy run the report, I was not pleased. There was 4 teams. You knew them going in. I told you there was 4 teams, and 3 of the 4 lost in the first round that we knew we could really have a shot at.
So, were they all 5 seeds?
No, 2 of them were 5s, 2 of them were 6s.
So you thought you were going to be a 12 seed, didn't you?
Yes.
Now, how did Chambers come up with Gonzaga?
He had this, I don't know. I'm going to call it luck, but I'll give him that, man. He had this stuff on his board for a week. But,
he had to go through St. Mary's game and all that. If they would beat St. Mary's, there's so many things could have happened. In fact, the BYU thing, which was what days they could play on.
Correct.
Changed it even, because you could have been playing BYU.
I know.
I don't want to say anything, but you could have been.
That would have been preferable to Gonzaga, I can assure you.
Even in Salt Lake City?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you always said it didn't matter where you played, it mattered who you played.
That would have been preferable.
I know they were one of yours. I won't get into the others, but I'm pretty sure I could figure out who they were.
Yeah.
One of them probably a Big Ten team even. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah. Why do you got to pick on the poor Big Ten?
You guys finally made a Final Four.
You guys.
You should be excited. That's your league.
It's my league. Yes,
That's
I grew up with that league.
You guys finally made the Final Four.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm not a huge Purdue fan. Purdue was one of the schools I looked at, though, by the way. I wanted to ask you this about Indiana State. What does Indiana State prove getting to the finals in NIT for mid-majors.
I think they're great. I mean, look, I think too much has been made. There's no doubt in my mind. If this was like 5 years worth of upsets in 1 year in the conference tournaments with the bid stealers. Like there was 6 bid stealers. Usually like the max you usually have is 2 or 3. So it was like double or triple what normally happens. So I think, but for that, Indiana State was getting in.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any doubt Indiana State was getting in, and I mean they proved it. You know, you could argue whether Virginia deserved to be in or not.
We can always do that with somebody that plays bad in the first round.
There's always. I used to tell my teams, because I've been on the bubble, like, guys, if we don't get in, we did it to ourselves. There's games in the regular season we lost. Like, you got to leave no doubt. And all the teams at the bottom of the bubble have flaws.
Flaws, yeah.
You know, the thing that's just so tough for a team like Indiana State is I think they were 2-4 against Quad 1. But a team that goes 2-8 against Quad 1 gets more credit because they've got the numbers built up by playing 10 Quad 1 games versus 6 Quad 1 games. Well, you give Indiana State 10 Quad 1 games versus 6, they may be 3-7 or 4-6 against it, not 2-8. And so it's just really stacked against those type teams, and that's what makes it tough. But they've obviously had a heck of a run through the NIT. They're in the final tomorrow against Seton Hall, and so
another team that thought it should be in.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what the Big East has done, and they didn't get in, they didn't make it, but they're a good team, and you just have a hard time with. They have a 1, 2, and a 3 seed from the Big East with Connecticut and Marquette and Creighton, and then they get nobody else in. Like that just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Now the numbers and the analytics did not like Seton Hall. I mean, if you looked at their analytics report, they way outperformed how good they are most of the year. So I mean, I think that that would be the reason why they got left out. But I mean, the analytics didn't love Virginia either.
No. Does a run in the NIT do anything for you?
No.
Okay, so it's better to play one. Okay.
Yeah, much better to play one NCAA tournament game than.
I always wondered about that because it seems like it's a nice little feather in your cap, but it doesn't really do anything for you. So.
Like kissing your sister.
Oh, okay. Why even go there?
I'm just saying.
Why do you even go there? Okay, so when would you like to have everybody in place? Last year you were adding right up until the end.
Yeah, we're going to add right up till the end too. We always do. We'll have a full roster summer school, and maybe somebody will drop off. We'll be in place by August when school starts.
You like that, don't you?
You got to tinker with your roster. Yeah, I mean we owe it to everybody to put the best roster we can out there, and so you gotta see how it all fits, and you may get a disjointed part, and you get rid of that part and go bring in a new part.
You like that, don't you?
Yeah, I love that part of it.
Do you like building the roster better than coaching, or do you like?
I like building the roster. That part's fun. But I like the coaching part too. I like all of it. I'm not one of these coaches going to sit up here and complain about everything like all these coaches complain.
Do they?
Oh yeah.
Some of them don't like the portal. They complain about the portal, especially complain about the portal.
How stupid is that? Think about this. They all complain about the portal when they're like we were at the NCAA tournament. We were talking to kids in the portal. It's not that hard to do. Every coach in the country, half the assistant coaches that are in the tournament are trying to get other jobs, but the kids can't go find other schools. It's
I agree with you.
This whole thing's stupid.
I agree with you there.
Stupid. Quit complaining and either treat your kids right where they're going to stay or get in there and start making phone calls. I mean, we spent an hour at the NCAA tournament the night before the game making phone calls, all right? It's a good phone call to make. Hey, we're at the NCAA tournament. You going to watch us tomorrow? I wish some of them hadn't. But hey.
Are more.
We were a little confident then, But it's a fun call to make.
So, but more people at least will answer you though if you're in the NCAA tournament, won't they?
Yeah.
You get better. Have you gotten a bump in? Not really.
Same old.
So you were looking at this. Well, you'd be looking at the same people anyways, right?
Oh yeah. We look at who the numbers say to look at.
And they're going to be big game hunting, I've been told.
We'll see.
We'll wait. Going to finish up big game hunting. We'll be back in 2 weeks on the PokeCast. We'll see you then from Mr. Bills.